the divinity in you. Do you understand when we do like this? What are they called? What is this gesture called? This is called praying hands, isn't it? What do you mean by praying hands? Two hands meet. Jiva meets the Brahman. Your prayer should be so intense that you become one, you are lost in Brahman consciousness, and that's why it is called. So wishing others means I pray to the Brahman in you. It's not a gesture for any human being. It's a gesture for the Brahman that you see, you know, realize in others. When you start doing this, then you cannot fight with anyone. You cannot hate anyone. You cannot despise anyone. You cannot injure, hurt, kill anyone. That's what it means. Now, few minutes I will give you for questions before I start going to other states of consciousness. Yes.
I can understand how selfless service would not create a karmic attachment, but how does it free you from past karmic attachments?
Yes. You cannot convince yourself to do free, selfless service unless you have understood the bondage of karma fully in all times, past, present and future. It's not possible because your sanskaras will motivate you to do selfish work, selfish deeds, which is entanglement, which creates a snare, you see. So when you are free from the past karmas, you can have freedom from the past karmas by transforming yourself. Once you are transformed, you are free from the past karmas. Yes?
Yesterday you talked about samadhi as an intervening state between the sleeping state and turiya, and you also alluded to 7 states. So by some rough calculation, there are 2 states, one between waking and dreaming, and one between dreaming and sleeping. What are they?
We are going to explain them. Yes.
You said that meditation itself was not enough. Dialogue had to be added to that. Is this the same as nididhyasana, or is there something else?
Nididhyasana, actual nididhyasana. You should first learn to listen to the scriptures, means sayings of the great sages, sayings of the perfect and enlightened ones, and then learn to contemplate on their sayings, and that is called nididhyasana. Yes?
You said that these states are states of consciousness and that the Atman is the experiencer. Are those 2 different things, and the parts of the mind, do they experience anything?
The states of mind are different than the experiences of the consciousness. The experiencer, which I am describing today, is in prajna, deep sleep, that experiences all the states of consciousness. But the states of mind are different than the states of consciousness. They are 2 different things. Yeah.
2 questions. Does Atman have a sense of humor?
If you have sense of humor, then it has definitely come from Atman.
What place does humor have in our work?
Wonderful place. If anyone who does not have humor, he is like a robot. Providence has gifted human being only one thing, and that is called how to smile. You see. And humor is a part of perennial smile. One should learn that. One should learn humor in a pleasant way, not at the cost of others. Humor is a good quality. Socrates had that great humor. You want to know what it was? His wife wanted attention all the time. No, she's not like that. His wife wanted attention all the time. And that great man was a philosopher. So when he was philosophizing, she wanted to speak to him, but he was deep in it. So she got angry and poured a bucketful of water over his head, which they deserve, men sometimes, you know. They are irresponsible. Am I wrong? So, when it happened, Socrates said, instead of getting angry, he said, "It's not true, it's not true." So his wife said, "What is not true?" He said, "So far I heard that thundering clouds do not rain." But that's not true. They rain. You are like a thundering cloud. And here, that's not true. He said, that's not true. Humor is something great. See, many men do not understand that. And they do not utilize humor. And that is why their marital life is not successful. It's good to be humorous. It's not teasing. You see, humor is something different. That's a great gift. If you cultivate that, I think it will help you. Yes.
In meditation, when you see yourself, looking at yourself, what does it mean?
It means your awareness has been withdrawn from the external objects, but still your awareness looks at your own shape and form. You need to go beyond that. That's the intermediate step of withdrawal. Many people, many meditators use it. Just to knowingly, unconsciously being free, having freedom from body consciousness when they see themselves outside themselves. They do it. There is another way of doing it. One is seeing oneself outside, that's not very safe. Another is, I have no body. Not at all. I have no breath, I have no senses, I have no mind. I am pure and pure Atman, established in my own peace, bliss and happiness. There is another way. So these both methods are used. One is higher than the other. Yes.
I don't see the body, and I just see my own face looking at me.
Face is a part of the body. Yes. I think I should start the subject matter for today's lecture. So far we talked about Vishwa Vaiswanara, waking state with gross objects of the world, their nature, their constant changing nature. Then we talked about tejasa, the dreaming state. When we write, I want to write on it. Video is being prepared, but I want to write so that I can explain more about it. Essays on the Mandukya Upanishad, that will be my effort. So the book will be ready sometimes in June or July. So I told you that very little portion of mind functions during waking state. And we spend our time and energy in cultivating that portion of mind which remains awake. Which remains awake. So consciously we understand, we utilize that part of mind for our external resources. But we do not know how to use that conscious part of mind and allow it to turn within consciously. And when we start doing this, that is called first step in meditation. We do not want mind to dissipate our energy, which of course comes from the source of consciousness through the senses. Immediately when you are awake, you will find that your senses gradually become active, and then you become active. All the activities in your body are because of your mind and senses. But all the knowledge in your body is because of the center of consciousness within. A human being is not perfect, remains unsatisfied, remains unfulfilled because he is utilizing very little resources given to him by the providence, by the nature. Now he wants to search for another dimension of life by seeing the nature of the objects of the world in the external world. That is called dreaming state. In dreaming state, you do not deal with the objects, but you deal with the impressions. Those impressions are also valid because they truly represent some objects outside you. So waking state is related to dreaming state. A very close relationship. Again, I want to tell you that anything that you cannot do successfully in the external world, you can successfully do it in your dreaming state. And as far as that dreaming reality is concerned, it's true. So there is dreaming reality. But that dream does not last for a long time. The question of time. This dream, what we call waking dream, this is also a dream. This lasts for some time. So you think a span of time makes something real? No. If you go on dreaming for 24 days, 50 days, 2 years, same thing, will it become real? Therefore, this waking state is not considered to be real as far as absolute reality is concerned. As this external reality is considered to be apparent reality, dreaming reality is also momentary. Now let us go and find out another part. I told you there is one more state between sleeping and dreaming, and that is realized and experienced by the meditators. You know, sometimes you do not know. You sat down, suddenly something happens to you, and you touch, you go towards the dimension And after a few minutes, you realize you did not know where you were. You see, you are neither dreaming nor you are brooding on the objects of the world. You go to nothingness. So many gurus, teachers, preceptors say, don't allow your mind to slip. Your mind should be under your control all the time. If you allow your mind to slip like this, then it will form a habit, then mind will be not under your control. It's just like a kite. You are flying, you are just holding the string, but you do not know what has happened to the kite. That unmani state of mind which I talked to yesterday is a sort of discovery. Going to the unknown is just like going through a black hole. You see, no one knows what it is. When the yogis discovered what it is, they call it absent-mindedness. It's not at all productive. They try to understand unmani avastha, that state of mind which leads you to unproductivity, where you cannot become creative, but you just waste your time and energy. So, that unmani avastha should not be brought. That unmani avastha which I was taking can lead your mind to hallucination. Or the hallucinations come in your mind because of that unmani avastha, where you are not attending your object of meditation, focal point. So that is not allowed, because it will lead you, your mind, towards hallucination. Many people, for lack of control and awareness, for lack of understanding what it is, form the habit of hallucination. And when hallucination reaches a point, attains a higher point, then what does it become? It becomes a sickness. And then you say, he or she has habit of hallucination. Hallucinates all the time. Therefore, unmani avastha is not considered to be creative, useful, helpful to the student. The teachers want not to waste their time, students' time, and not to go towards that, for it's not healthy and helpful. Dream interpretation is possible if you try to observe your thought patterns before you go to bed. That is considered to be introspection, inspecting within, not outside, inspecting your imageries, trying to understand what types of images are coming in your mind. You'll find most of the images are relating to those works, duties of yours which you could not accomplish in daytime, or which you have not accomplished many days ago, which you have postponed. So where those impressions are stored, they start coming forward for completion, for your attention. So you can easily see and watch those. Why this particular symbol? There is one difference here. Dream is more symbolic. And you need to interpret symbols. You often see dreams symbolically. You see. If somebody sees the mountain all the time in front of him, you can interpret that you have a desire to attain the highest summit, yet you are not capable of doing that. You have that desire which has dual nature, understands your inabilities and at the same time wants to attain the summit. You can interpret your dreams so that dreams can be interpreted consciously and you understand that part of your nature which is not normally understood by the waking state. Many a times you forget your dreams. They are not important, that's why you forget. Because many things happen in your daily life, you forget. What happened to you the day before yesterday, many things you forgot. But important things you do not forget. So is the case with the dreams. It means your deeds, your relationship in the external world has something to do with your dreaming world. I told you, a Hindu will not dream of a Muhammad fighting in the desert. A Christian will not dream Krishna having a flute and playing flute under a tree. We all have our sanskaras, and because sanskaras do help us, lead us to dream also. The best part of our dream is prophetic dream. But prophetic dream comes when you have done your meditation and there is nothing to disturb your dreaming state. There is a space for prophetic dream, but you cannot call, "Oh, prophetic dream, come to me." That comes accidentally. That does not come voluntarily. It comes voluntarily to those who have access to that infinite library within, which is called library of consciousness, which is called library of, knowledge. A part of your unconscious mind is unique. But remember that all unconscious states are not considered to be part of sleeping state. Sleeping state, according to our philosophy and yoga, is considered to be a great productive state. There is one word that is used for Atman, and that is called Purusha. Pur means city, Sah means sleeping. One who is sleeping in the city of life is called Purusha. That which is beyond waking, dreaming, you find in the sleeping state. That is why yogis practice yoga nidra. Is there any way that we can take full rest, benefits from the sleep, yet we can remain fully awake and conscious? So they found out the way of going to sleep. And many warriors who were not yogis came in touch with such an idea. Have you heard a warrior, a great warrior, world-famed warrior, who used to sleep on horseback? Come on. What was his name? Napoleon. Was he a yogi? No. Necessity led him to come in touch with that potential He did not have time to sleep. So he said, this is the best time to take nap. If you study the characters of great wars, sometimes you feel very strange. There was one German, youngest general, who by mistake went to inspect British hospital instead of inspecting German hospital. And when he went over there, when he signed, inspected, during his signature, he found the book was different, written in English. And he was so powerful, no Britishers. His power hypnotized the whole people there, all people there. He understood there while signing that he inspected. He writes, all things seem to be okay, but it's dirty. You see. And they knew that he was not our general, but nobody could dare say anything because his name was so much. He returned safely. He was unarmed, he was all alone, and went away. You see. When you are one-pointed mind, you cannot understand, imagine how much power do you have. What is this? This is called Sankalp Shakti, determination. If your determination leads your mind one-pointedly, you can do that. You have so much power, the power of determination. If you learn to utilize that power of determination, which is called Sankalp Shakti, which is the first thing that is taught, that reminds one to compose oneself before doing any meditation, any rituals, any puja, any prayer, any meditation, any contemplation. First thing the priest will tell you, Sankalp Shakti. In Sankalp Shakti, the priest will lead you to remember your ancients. You come from the tradition of a great sage. So you remember, my ancients were great sages, great seers. How come? Why cannot have that greatness? I come from the same tradition. So, in that position, you are inspired to remember all the good you have done in your past. Those who have studied Isha Upanishad, it is said in the mantras that while departing, a soul, individual soul, should learn to remember all that he has done, good things he has done. Because those good deeds will not create sadness, depression, fear in your mind when you are going through transition. So far you are preparing yourself for the external world to be in a world of comforts, in a world of means, which is essential part. But are you preparing yourself to go through the period of transition? Because sooner or later we all will have to go. Look at this strange thing. We all have to depart, yet we are not going to believe that we will die. Do you know why? Why do you not believe? Because there is no death for eternity, and you are child of eternity. The soul never dies, so unconsciously you know that soul never dies, best part of you never dies, the best of yourself never dies. And that which changes, goes to death and decay, always dies. So you are afraid of dying. From where this fear comes? This fear comes from ignorance. Nothing dies, scientifically. Yet you find death means change. Death does not mean complete annihilation. Now, before I tell you something about deep sleep, I want to tell you that deep sleep and death are like twin sisters. And if you understand deep sleep well, you understand death well. If you understand death well, you can easily understand deep sleep well. Suppose someone's age is 100 years. How many years will he sleep? At least 30 years, 25 to 30 years. If somebody sleeps 30 years, he is dead. Because he is not dreaming and he is not in waking state. He is in a silent, deep silence. And death means when you are not awake, when you do not dream, you go to deep sleep. And if that deep sleep continues for a long time, that is called death. Sleep is not terrifying. You wait to sleep. Whole day you do your work, and finally you wait for sleeping, because sleeping is comfortable. It gives you comfort. So here the scripture says, it's prajna, enlightening knowledge to understand what sleep is. Where resides great Atman, Ishvara. You see. The dreaming state they call Hiranyagarbha. You see. So you know, if you try to understand what sleep is, you are at the gate, golden gate of light. You at least reach the gateway to enlightenment. Because next step will be Turiya. You see. How to practice that something which is called Yoga Nidra. Few things I would like to. Anybody can practice this. I am talking to you on the basis of the experiments conducted by the yogis. And they have come with certain conclusions, so I am going to put in front of you. They use two postures. Have you ever heard a sleep which is called walking sleep? Have you heard? Is it considered to be a sort of disease? You walk, yet you are not conscious. But I used to do it, but consciously. Whenever I did not have time to sleep, because I assumed many hours of meditation, so I did not have time to sleep. So whenever I walked, I used to sleep. And then walk. But that sleepwalk and this walk was different. I was doing it consciously. I started doing practicing it by giving my body complete rest. My mind and brain and nervous system complete rest. Yet I remain fully conscious. I did experiments on it and I used to do recordings. That sleep and that state is very rewarding. What rewards can you get? When Sriharsa, one of the greatest scholars of India, who wrote a book, see the name of the book, how difficult it is, Khandan Khand Khadyam. A layman cannot remember. He was just insulted by the scholars of India during his time because nobody understood him. So when you do not understand something, either you condemn or despise him. So he left India and went to Kashmir, northern part of India. There he became sad, thinking how stupid those scholars of India are. You see, they hated me, despised me, and I had to leave the country. He was sitting by the lake. There two women started fighting. And they started fighting fiercely, pulling each other's hair, scratching each other's nose. You know, how women fight, you can imagine. Fiercely they fought. So, they were caught by the police, produced in front of the court, in front of the judge, who was the king of that state. And they caught also him, one who was watching. He said, "Sir, I don't know your language, but I can reproduce what she said and I can also reproduce what she said. But I don't understand what they said. Can you do it?" He said, "Yes." "What's your name?" He said, "My name is Srihars. I am writer of such and such." So king naturally postponed their judgment for next day and asked the scholars there. They said, "Srihars? If he is Srihars, that's something great for our state. He is here." So people thronged from all over to see and watch him. He exactly reproduced whatever they said, without knowing a single word of Kashmiri language. Why? Because he knew how to get into that state of mind which is little bit lower than samadhi, perfect samadhi, kaivalya samadhi, which can be termed as, you see, dharmic samadhi, but not kaivalya samadhi. And remember everything. You speak Jewish language, you speak German, you speak French. Anything the recording is going on, you will remember. And you can reproduce. You will not forget like you forget few dreams. You can reproduce verbatim in that state. That I termed as sleepless sleep. You are fully conscious, yet you are in deep sleep. What is deep sleep? When you are not aware of the objects of the world, of the waking state, when you do not have any dream, you do not have any content in your mind, if you can empty your mind completely. If you can withdraw the consciousness from the sleeping state, from the dreaming state, from the waking state, then you can attain this. That conscious method of turning inward, which is meditation, when it is fully strengthened, how it is strengthened, there are, what is this? There are two lines. Between these two lines, like a space. These two lines are like two thoughts. Now, what you want, you do not want 2 thoughts, 3 thoughts, 4 thoughts, 10 thoughts, 20 thoughts. You want only one thought for a long time. That is called meditation. You want only one thought to persist for a long time, and that is called meditation. What are you doing here? If there are 2 thoughts, then there will be space, then there will be time, then there will be causation. But if there is only one, then there is no space, there is no time, there is no causation. So in meditation, there is no time. It is not, mind is not conditioned by time during meditation. So as long as mind is conditioned by meditation, time, it is not meditation. It is something else. You are making effort to meditate, but you have not attained it. Suppose you are doing japa. If you constantly do japa and nothing intervenes, then that's in meditation. If something intervenes, then that is not meditation, because you have been intervened by another thoughts, because a space has been created, because you have come under the grip of the conditionings of mind, time, space and causation. You are affected by karya karana bhava. So what do you do in meditation? You prolong thoughts. Scientifically, now, you can study your mind by studying this method which I am telling you. Suppose a patient comes to you and you are a therapist, you want to know the distractions of the mind. One whose mind is completely distracted is not fit for meditation, completely. But one who can concentrate and at the same time the mind is dissipated, there is one who can concentrate in mind for some time, better. One who has attained concentration is definitely helpful. Sometimes focusing your mind with the help of japa, remembering japa, remembering your mantra, helps you a lot. But that remembrance could be injurious. Suppose you are trying to remember your mantra in your breath. And if your breath is being jerky, it might disturb the motion of your lungs, the right vagus nerve, and it will not allow a coordination between your brain and the heart. That's why this scripture said, nothing but Om. Now you can have a graph. In cephalograph, you can have breath measurement, you will find difference. Remember any mantra, there will be a jerk in the breath. Breath will become jerky. It will not become smooth. But if you remember Om, there will be no jerk. I'm talking about scientific experimentation, the graph which we have taken. Mantra could be useful mentally and spiritually, but physically it was not useful. So those mantras which are used in the breath are only 2, 3, not more than that. Om and Soham. You see. It doesn't distort the breath. You see. Now, suppose I say Om, look at the difference, and concentrate here. The breath will be finer. In layman's case, breath will be short. That's not good. Short breath, shallow breath. But in yogi's interpretation, breath will become fine because he knows he has withdrawn. First he started breathing. You see. Sant Jnaneshwar, one of the greatest yogis, just a few hundred years ago, born in Maharashtra, says this. You catch hold the sting of breath and you can easily go. Finally, from this prana to the other prana. The first unit of life is called prana. And this breath is also called prana. That which helps in manifesting this world is prana. That which helps manifesting jivas is called Brahman. The difference. The prana does not manifest. The prana manifested the world, but not the human souls. Manifestation, not creation, I'm talking. So that power which becomes means of manifestation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this manifestation of only one, becoming many. When one becomes many, suppose you are sitting in a dome of many colors and see yourself in all the color glasses. This is called manifestation of one. So Brahman is responsible of the manifestation of the soul, as ocean is responsible of the manifestation of the waves. So there is difference. That is, one who manifests, who does not manifest, who cannot manifest, the jivas or the individual souls is also called Maya. Therefore, prana and Maya are one and the same, but the original prana, not the prana we are inhaling and exhaling. What is the relation of this prana with that prana, original prana that manifested the world? There is a relationship. This world, this is individual and this is the end. Where are we? We are one end of the reality, this another end is called absolute truth. So absolute truth is one end and individual self is another end. If you make it like this, what do you become? You are one. You cannot be ever separated from the reality. Have you seen in all tradition there is a tradition of exchanging ring? When you are wedded, what is that? Two ends of the metal are put together, make one. And that is called ring. Jiva and Brahman are made one, united one. That is called yoga. That unification is called yoga. So what is marriage? Marriage is a part of yoga. You see, where individual soul is made aware of the reality that your ultimate goal is to become one with the reality, and here, in him or in her, is that, not far away. So, we see that one thought continue, we voluntarily continue, we consciously continue one thought. And that is called pure concentration. How that one thought will continue? If something is very impressive, loving to the mind, with full leading to the mind, then mind likes to flow that way. Because mind means energy. Energy has made many grooves on the brain, and mind flows to the grooves of habit patterns. What are you trying to do? You are consciously trying to make a new groove so that the old grooves, mind drops the old grooves and start flowing to the channel, through that channel which you have made and groove you have made for your mind. It's a new training program for the mind. So I am coming to the point. When you are doing japa, either you should do mentally and don't get involved in your breath japa. Don't synchronize your breath with the japa. It could be injurious physically if you do not understand the anatomy fully. Because if you do something short and rapidly, you see, Om could be expanded, Ram could be expanded. But what are you doing? You are doing japa. You see, you think that by doing fast, you are doing something great. No, you are injuring yourself in a way by rapidly breathing. And if rat rapidly breathes, dog rapidly breathes, how does he live for a long time? Doesn't live. That's why breath comes first before you use your mantra and meditation. Don't misuse your mantra. There is nothing wrong with your mantra. Mantra means a word, a syllable, a set of words which will help your mind, liberate your mind if you learn to use it. So mantra is different from its technique of applying the mantra. When you sit down, immediately you start remembering your mantra. Yes, remembering is very good. Is it affecting your breath adversely? Why do you say when you go meditate, just calm down first? Why do you say grace before you eat your food? Calming down. Calming down means what? If you are rapidly breathing, you are not calmed down. Calmness has something to do with your breath. As long as your breath is not serene, how can you calm down? Not possible. That is why before you meditate, you learn to breathe in a way so that your breath is calm. Now, that calmness does not last for a long time. Is there any other way? Yes. There is another way that is called Sushumna application. Is there any artist here who can draw a human being? Just draw. Come. No one, otherwise I am going to draw myself. Now this lesson, if you are attentive, you will gain a lot, and in one day, first time you practice and you will have glimpse what I am saying. If I say 2 and 2 make 5, you might out of reverence don't say anything, but you know it's a foolish thing. But this is something that has been experimented. At the point of nose. How before meditation you have to learn to make your pranic sheath, to make your pranas serene. If you are able to do that, then you will find your sushumna will be awakened. In a scientific way, sushumna awakening is very important. Sushumna awakening means you have 3 channels of the energy. One channel of energy flows through your left nostril. Another channel of energy flows through your right. And experiments have been conducted in many of the universities that the flow through right nostril will give hot air because electric potentials are entirely different, their nature is different. And electric potentials flowing from left nostrils are entirely different. You can easily change whenever you want by concentrating on this. Suppose this left nostril of mine is closed. You see. Why I am putting it so that you understand. And now, if I concentrate on this, it will start flowing. Any nostril that is blocked can be made active by concentration on it. It means concentration activates your system, makes any part of the body active. Many of you complain, and I have a diary in which I mention this. If you think of the sex all the time, during meditation, you can become a maniac. Because you are thinking about the sex all the time. And you are concentrating nothing but sex. So concentration activates. Through concentration, a paralyzed part can be cured if you concentrate. What is this biofeedback system? Biofeedback system is based on the concentration. Suppose something happened to this part. If I concentrate on this part, there will be good blood flow. Concentration can cure blocked arteries. Blocked arteries can be created by your bad breathing. Shallow breathing. Coronary heart diseases have something to do with your shallow breathing. What the yogis do, if you want to go through shortcut, you can go through shortcut. For Westerners, shortcut suits. No, because they are not trained from the very beginning to sit on the floor to lead that way of accomplishing perfect pose, I am leading through a shortcut. I told you, shortest cut is just to cut your ego, nothing higher than that. But how to do it is very difficult. This shortcut will lead you. You lie down in this posture, two limbs are not uniting, and this is called Savasana, corpse pose. Now, suppose you are in this pose and I say, hello, how are you? You say, fine. Then you are not like a corpse. Corpse pose means you should entirely pose like a corpse. Doesn't move, doesn't speak, doesn't see, doesn't hear. You see. Not that you are lying there and I say, how are you, John? He said, fine. You have not attained that. One of the highest poses is corpse pose. In itself is perfect. Perfect. Suppose you, provided you use your arm clock, or you tell somebody to wake you up exactly at that time. Now, go back. I will remind you something. In this method, you can attain a state of deep, blissful state, which is given by sleep, yet you remain conscious, which is little bit beyond sleep and between sleep and turiya. You might feel of not coming back. The method that you can use on yourself, the same you can use on others, is scientific method. If you do not misuse it, you can go ahead. One of the unique scientific method that use. I want someone, Prakash, to come over here, become so that I will not do anything. So don't.
I don't mind, sir.
I know. You are my dear. Lie down. In this method, this is a unique method which will help you, deepening your meditation. Very few people are there whom this posture does not suit, but most of the people, because everyone likes to lie down, you see. There are two obstacles in this posture right now. You might urinate, it can happen, if your bladder has lost its power of conduction. One thing. You might go to sleep. That is why Shankaracharya, other yogis did not recommend this. But if you decide that you are not going to sleep, no matter in which posture you practice, you can deepen your meditation in this posture, definitely. It's just like 2 and 2 make 4, never becomes 5, it's so definite. Whether you are good or bad, whether you are sage or criminal, this will definitely deepen your concentration. Now you have to follow the system. You do what I am talking to you in seconds time, okay? Let me first explain here. Listen, see. And then you are going to do it. Yeah. You inhale. No, first thing you have to exhale, that's called Rechaka. You see. You can go far beyond. Let you flow your mind with the flow of your breath. Because they are the greatest friend in the world. No one can attain such a good friendship like mind and breath. If mind wants to distract breath, breath is always distracted. If breath is distracted, you can never be healthy. If breath is calm, it can always help your mind calm, being calm. They are called twin laws of life, mind and breath. You see. Now you are allowing your mind to flow with the flow of breath. Exhaling. But when you exhale, you will find whenever you want to go beyond capacity, there will be a jerk. You see. Some grasp, something like that. A jerk. You will have to watch your capacity. So better work with the digital system. First you should learn the breath, which is 4:2, this ratio. 4 exhalation and 2 inhalation. Slowly you increase it. This is not your ratio. This is the ratio of the dog I have picked up. I am just giving you a formula. 8 and 4 will be better to start with. Anybody who has got any respiratory problem or any emotional problem can be nipped by this method. Very therapeutic mentally and for the breath. Very good for heart, nervous system and brain. If your memory will improve if you follow this method. You see. 8 to 4 to start with. 8 exhalation, 4 inhalation. I am bypassing all the exercises, Nadi Shodhanam, channel purification, other exercises, Bahya Kumbhaka, Antar Kumbhaka, Plavani, I am bypassing that. This will help in establishing this. This is called emergency breathing exercise. You can do it anywhere in the plane also. You have to be still when you do it, that's all. You cannot do it while walking this exercise. You have to be either sitting or standing or lying in a position. Don't do it while standing, you might fall. So lie down in Shavasana, using always a pillow, little bit pillow. Otherwise sometimes Urdhva, the gastric problem, apana, creates disturbance. Apana does not mean Justin, but creates a disturbance. You see. Upward traveling of the apana. Used up gas should not disturb you. Okay. So, you are inhaling and exhaling from this point. If you can try to go with the length of the breath flow, that will be very useful to you. Yogis even could measure how many inches flow was there. 4 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches. How far your breath could flow, great flow of exhalation. You see. So you are exhaling. Let your mind follow. What happens? From where? Where does it go? Where this stream of flow of exhalation goes? You will find being in a pool, and that stream becoming one with the pool. Now you want to inhale. From where are you inhaling? You are not inhaling from here. There's something very mysterious. From where are you inhaling? Who is giving you life breath? We all are dependent here. We take different foods, we have different thoughts, but we have only one ear to inhale. There is only one proprietor that is giving us air to inhale. It means there is only one proprietor of your body. Where is it? This Upanishad says, it's in prajna. Sleeping in the city of life. How can you know? How can you go to the city of life? When you go there, you yourself sleep. So if you know the technique of remaining awake yet being there, then you will know that Purusha. Through yoga nidra it can be done. You can enjoy his presence. Sleep is very close to that. So let me complete this and then I will explain. 5 times it goes with mathematics. Nowhere, because it improves memory also. You can count 5 times you are exhaling from here as far as you can go, but it should be in one breath. And 5 times you are inhaling. When you exhale, you go up to here, but when you inhale, you go up to here. Look, this is the difference. When you exhale, you have a feeling of emptying yourself, otherwise it's not savasana. You will remain in that state and lose the touch with the life force which makes you active. So you better reverse position is you are inhaling, filling the depth of your whole being which you have emptied. One feeling you use when you exhale, another feeling you use when you inhale. In one feeling, you empty your whole system. In another feeling, you fill up that system. 5 times inhalation and exhalation. What mantra can you use? You can use Om. And this is very supportive. Mantra is great support. When do you need support? When you are weak. You see. So mantra is great support. Better have friendship with it so that it helps you whenever you need. For that, be constantly with your friend so that you are never weak and you always get support. You are remembering mantra. That mantra is Om. You see. Single syllable. If you cannot do this, then do this here, from this point. Because you have not practiced to lengthen your breath so far, so better start doing from here, where both legs unite. That's the place which is called Muladhara Chakra. You see. That is the cavity like this. Here. Your feeling will be entirely different when you do it. No matter how much meditation you have done it, you will be transported into a different realm when you start doing this. So if you have not done practice, better start up to here first. After a month or 2, you can do this. After 3-4 months, you cannot, you see, make a point somewhere in a distance, feel as though you are exhaling to that distance, to that point, and inhaling from there. You can gradually increase the distance mentally and Now, there are 2 points here. One is called Dur Darshita, seeing far and wide. Another is called Shuksham Darshita, seeing the subtlest. You see. You can see something beyond the walls. One method. Another method, you can see subtlest things. A pin is dropped here, immediately you come and see it. You don't have to search. When I describe the Alat Shanti, then I will describe that method. There is a meaning behind it. Do it 5 times first day exhalation, 5 times inhalation. When you exhale, you are exhaling from here to this point. When you inhale, inhale to the top of your crown. Your breath should not be jerky, should not be noise, it should be calm. Have you understood this or not? Don't practice if you have not understood. Practice correctly. If you have to put question on this, raise your hand, I'll reply. Yes, David.
Both on the inhalation and exhalation separately?
Yeah. Many people, many sages separate that Om. They separate O and but no need of doing it. That leads to the state of dream. If you separate this, there's another technique here, subtle technique. If you separate O and then what will happen? You will remain floating in a sweet dreaming state. Yes. But if you make the whole Om without breaking it, breaking the sound, because you are not breaking the sound here. In previous condition, you break the sound O and then Inhalation O and exhalation. But in this you say only Om. Om. That moment between 2 Oms, inhalation and exhalation, gradually should be controlled. When you are controlling this, if you learn to control the pause in your breath, what have you controlled? Do you know that? Death. Control of death means control of pause. Pause means death. That's how yogi control the death, and they with the wish leave and drop their body. Now come down and I will demonstrate. Are you tired of me? These exercises are not demonstrated and explained outside monastery. But I do it because many of you for many, many years have been with me practicing, and I think you should know. And if you practice, that will help you. If you don't practice, I am helpless. A little bit closer, then, yeah. Are you comfortable? Hands are far apart. Yes. Close your eyes. Now, because of these lights, you might get disturbed. Make your room a little bit so that you don't have less harsh lights. The lights do not distract your eyesight. Gently close your eyes and physically relax your limbs. All limbs, systematically from your toes upwards to your head. And again come down. Just as a physical relaxing. Now, you are breathing. This exercise is meant for your breath. Try to relax your limbs and muscles as much as you can. It's a very healthy exercise for those who suffer on account of insomnia and cannot have good sleep and rest. Let me tell you this. It's a wonderful exercise to remove insomnia, habit patterns. Now, please pay attention to the bridge between the two nostrils. Learn to exhale the point between these two up to this. Don't try to make a bigger pause and start going back, inhaling. When you go to the crown of your head, don't create a pause, try to reduce it, come back to the space between the 2 feet, again from where you started. First time you start from here, then you go here, then second time you start from here to here. Now include that feeling that you are emptying your body when you are exhaling. You can easily locate the tension point in your body. Now, include the feeling that you are filling up the depth of your being from the energy received from the cosmos. This time you have to go far with the help of your breath stream. That stream of breath which you are exhaling, please go with it. See how far can you go? After visualizing that state, come back with the fresh energy and fill up the depth of your being. Energize yourself. Every time you go, you have to make little bit advance on the path with the help of the stream of your breath. Perhaps you will find a new vision. Perhaps you will find something new. Come back now, sit down. I want you to practice this. Let me see how far can you go with the stream of breath that you are exhaling. And your mind should be there. Should not run here and there, leaving that stream of breath. And then pulling the stream of energy from there, filling your whole depth. Okay? So I leave you here today. Tomorrow I will explain to you more about deep sleep and how in deep sleep you are full of wisdom, and then how you can prepare yourself for Turiya, the next step. No questions now, tomorrow. When you are not tired, when you are not going to sleep, when your tummy is not a pantry, when you are not very hungry, when you are not eaten. Any time you can do it, but it should not be done for sleep. Are you enjoying your seminar? This is a very therapeutic technique, very good technique. But what happens? Habits, engagements, desires break that something which is called persistence. When doctor says, use this medicine for 10 days, how does he know that in 10 days' time you will be all right? It means he has done experiments before with the drug. So is the case with this science. If you persist for some time, I can tell you, after so many days, this is going to happen. After so many days, this is going to happen. But if you do not do, just only know, knowing is not knowledge. I hope you practice, help yourself. Peace, peace, peace.